Hi, welcome to the another project management show. Like any other project management show, this is the objective of this project is this show is to interact with the project professionals and management professionals from this industry who can give insight to the project professionals, especially young project professionals who can learn from their experiences and they can actually work much better, they can improve their efficiency, and that is the entire objective of this project, this show. Nowadays you can see the entire India is almost called as I2. That means India and infrastructure is going hand in hand, and in entire India we are seeing so many projects which are happening in road construction, port construction, especially metro construction. Metro was just 10 years back, metro was not so popular, but nowadays in many cities metro construction has picked up like anything. In Mumbai, in fact, there are so many projects, like 9 lines are already under construction, close to 250, 300 kilometers. Construction is in, because I'm from Mumbai, I can see that. And one of the prominent name we can see in Mumbai is J Kumar. And today I would like to introduce Mr. Shaibal Roy, who is Executive Vice President of J Kumar, which is a very well-known company in Mumbai. And you can see whenever you are in Mumbai, you can see most of the project with the name J Kumar. And they are constructing one of the largest metro network, and not only in metro work, but there are so many other projects also I think they are executing. And as a part of that, Mr. Shaibal Roy is playing a very important, because he's an executive of this company, and he has a really wide exposure not only in India but abroad. What I understand from his when I went to his CV, I was so impressed, because before joining J Kumar, he was president of another big EPC company, JMC Projects. Before that, he was a vice president of Tata Projects. Such a well-known and big companies. And before that, Hindustan Construction. So his CV is really very impressive. And I am very happy that Mr. Roy, welcome to this show. And really, I am very thankful for joining and taking out this time, because we all are waiting for professionals like you who can really give good insight to the to our audience. I mean, so many students are listening to this program. Before starting, our interaction or interview, I would like you to give your your introduction, giving some background about what is this new metro projects which is happening, and what are the, I mean, infrastructure is in India. So if you can quickly give the background about your background as well as background of infrastructure in India, and then we'll go into the mode of interaction. So can you please speak on that?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for joining the show. Abhijit was telling me for a long time to spend some time. So I hope it will be a good interaction. Basically,
Right.
I'm associated with the construction contracting industry for last 3 decades in various forms.
Okay.
And I had been associated with the first metro construction of the country, very large tunnel, hydropower, setting up businesses in Africa, the strategic orientation of an organization, heading different P&L account, right? So on and so forth, right? Okay, so I am trying to contribute in my own way, in my own small little way, whatever I can do for the construction contracting industry in the country. Now, coming to the metro sector, within this last 3 decades, the metro sector has been evolved at various levels.
Okay.
Earlier, during the 90s, when India had started its first metro project, and from that point of time, when the economy has been liberalized, lot many money flows in metro sector, including the FDI. If you look at the metro sector construction now, all major banks are pumping their money in India. It is EIB, it is JICA, it is AWA. One of the major reasons,
right,
they understand, see, when the bankers are given any money to a construction sector, that means they see a bright future on it. And they will get back the money very quickly.
Right.
So two things are happening. While doing this metro and this infrastructure, it creates a lot of employment. And now, in coming next one decade, you will see lot many metro projects, light rail metro projects, high-speed metro projects that is going to come in two-tier cities also.
Okay.
So it's very important to see the development of the metro projects in country, and consistently the kind of connectivity is being created by the government of India for the tier 1 cities and eventually for the tier 2 cities, and which will ultimately trickle down to tier 3 cities also. That will make our metro network comparable 10 years after, maybe absolutely a world class, right?
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
We can compete, India can compete with any other country on the infrastructure.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would like to understand because all these projects are literally these are not even large projects, these are the mega projects. And when you are handling such a large mega projects, what are the kind of challenges you are facing as far as you are dealing with so many stakeholders? For
Hmm.
example, there are commuters around, and there is so many subcontractors, suppliers, and then because these are all public projects. Everybody is watching you closely. It is not that something, building is happening in isolation. Everybody is watching. Media is giving a lot of information to public, and everybody is watching.
Hmm.
So, I mean, what are like as since you are at such a CXO position, how you look at it? Like, what are the key success
See,
factors?
when you see a project, you need to understand first of all, when we go for a looking at project details, right? Okay. Nowadays, most of the metro projects are on engineering, procurement, and construction. It's on EPC basis,
Uh-huh.
right? Most of the projects.
Okay.
Now, for a successful completion of the project, it's very important that the land is available.
Okay.
The ROW is clear,
Uh-huh.
right? So, whenever you look into a project to analyze it, you should see how the lands have been organized,
Okay.
whether 90% land has been organized
Okay.
when the project is getting at a awarded stage.
Uh-huh.
Number two, you also really look to see that the local how you can best utilize the local available materials.
Oh, okay. I
This
see.
is also a very important point.
Uh-huh.
And number three, also, you really need to look into the different contract process,
Uh-huh.
because normally what happens, the contract clauses are normally one-sided,
Oh, I
right?
see. Uh-huh.
So you need to see in the special condition of contract, in general condition of contract and the special condition of contract,
Okay.
how fairly it is weighing towards the contractor and the client.
Okay.
If you see that mostly these clauses are based on FIDIC 1999,
Uh-huh.
many of the cases the authorities they change it in the special condition of contract.
Okay.
So if you really see such kind of things are happening, which can happen in any contract, you should immediately raise that question in the private query.
Okay. Okay.
Because at the end of the day, in an EPC project, these metro projects are being constructed for 100 years life.
I see. Okay.
And you have a defect liability period of 3 years. Right. You have to give the professional indemnity. The organization has to give the professional indemnity for the project.
Uh-huh.
So, looking at the contract condition, in short, availability of the land, how much land is available means cleared ROW should be there. Say a project is, I have seen many projects, a project has been tendered, but 50% land is not available.
Mm-hmm.
So any contractor or any seasoned professional must look into it.
Okay.
If they get it the job also,
Uh-huh.
but after some time they will not be able to work. Their
Okay.
entire manpower and machinery will become idle. So it's a fixed cost.
Okay.
And normally, this kind of contract doesn't give you the opportunity to claim your idling of the fixed cost because of the client's lacuna.
Okay.
They have some disclaimer clause that they will give you the EOT, but they will not give you the delay damage cost.
I see. Okay.
So that's why it's very important to see that your ROW, majority of the ROW is clear, right?
I see. I see.
Second point, you also need to see the design basis report because it is a EPC contract.
Okay.
In the design basis report, people must see that foundation is one of the major component of any metro project, right?
Right.
So whether the geotechnical investigation is consistent or not, the report which have been furnished. So I will always prefer that any organization which is going for an elevated metro or an underground metro, they must do if the time permits, they must do an independent soil investigation
Okay. Okay.
before bidding,
I see.
because that result will give you a great help in designing the foundations.
I see. Okay. Okay.
So these are the if these disciplines are being maintained while bidding the project, during the project execution time, the life will be little easier
I see. Okay.
for the contractors.
I see. I see. Okay. My second question too is that you are also handling. You have handled the international projects. When you see the projects being handled in India against the international projects, let us say if somebody wants to, let us say because this program is mainly for the young project professionals who are also planning to migrate to or planning to go abroad and work there. Uh, what kind of challenges you see, the different challenges which are not there in India, but those are present in other countries, say for example, say Africa. So,
See, in Africa, the business is being done in a little different manner,
okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
So the business, the way people behave in Eastern Africa, the Western African people behave in a different manner,
Oh,
right?
I see. Okay.
So it's always better to do a business in a politically stable country.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So if you look at the Africa, I will always choose a country in Africa which is democratically ruled. It's very important.
Okay.
Democratically ruled.
Uh-huh.
Number two, the official language English is accepted.
Uh-huh.
The contract document follows FIDIC, right?
Okay.
And there are presence of international companies in that country.
Okay.
If the international companies are present in that country, you can well assume the government is aware of the. I'm just giving you one example. Like if you work in Ghana,
Okay.
you will not face much challenge.
Uh-huh.
If you work in Ethiopia, you will not face any challenge
Okay.
because historically, if you see, their infrastructure is developed by the Western world.
Okay.
Indian share is very little, right? Okay,
Okay.
because very few Indian companies are there,
Mm-hmm.
like L&T, Kalpataru Group, JMC, like very few Econ. But there are several other companies of India who have not explored it, right? Okay. Because today, if you look at the government of India's point of view,
Mm-hmm.
earlier, earlier Africa was completely run by a huge amount of financial aid by China.
Okay.
So, in order to change the geopolitical situation,
Uh-huh.
government of India has already started giving lot of money through Exim Bank of India to
Uh-huh.
these countries for their infrastructure development.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it has got two definitive advantage.
Uh-huh.
One is India's presence in those countries geopolitically will engage the government of India standing
Mm-hmm.
in the world economy. Point number one. Point
Mm-hmm.
number two, when we are exporting our projects over there, we are also creating opportunities for our Indian companies.
Okay.
Okay, but before any young professional go to Africa, I would always advise them, you should at least work in the country on the relevant field for 5 to 6 years.
Okay, I see.
You should understand,
Uh-huh.
right? Okay,
Okay.
what the field at which you are going, how the work is being done, right?
Okay, I see.
So that's my advice to the young professionals, and also those who really want to go there, they must, whatever work they are doing, whatever project they are, they should always pick up a habit of thoroughly reading the contract document.
Oh, I see. Okay. Very valid point. Yeah.
Unless and until they know what the contract document is, what is there, what is general condition of contract, what is special condition of contract, what does it mean by employer's requirement, what is design basis report. So they should have a thorough, it's not thorough, at least some knowledge about it, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
So then it will be easier for them to work over there, because most of the consultant over there are either Britishers or French or American.
Oh, I see. Okay. Uh-huh.
So whenever these young engineer, as a site engineer or a senior engineer working at their site, they will be encountering
Uh-huh.
their counterpart at the consultant who are very much well aware of this thing.
Okay.
So that's why it's my advice to the young professionals that they should at least work in India for 5 6 years. They should they should learn the contracts. They should try to upgrade them with the latest technology. Then it will be easier for them to be successful in outside India.
I see. Okay. Okay. One more question is that the in any projects the timely completion or completion within budget is the biggest challenge. And most of the time, project professionals, they are just thrown into the project and without having and how to do that. So, what guidance you would like to give to the project professional that how exactly they should learn or what they should do to ensure that the project is finished within, especially in time, because when the time is naturally it impacts the cost also. But in timely completion, what message you would like to give to them?
See, for the project, young project professional, I must say that for any civil engineer, right? Okay, it's very important to understand the importance of the planning.
Okay. Okay. Importance of
So
that.
any project, before start of the project, a complete start to end of that project has to be prepared.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Considering the challenges, what is available today itself,
Uh-huh.
right?
Okay.
That is, we say it's a zero budget, right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
So month by month, if the budget is being prepared or the plan is being prepared, so they will understand the correlation between the activities,
Mm.
and from there they will draw the revenue of each month.
Okay.
And when you draw the revenue from your physical progress, planned physical progress, from start date to the end date, they themselves will understand that in order to complete the project, what are the activities to be done first and what are the activities to be done last, right?
Right.
They
Right.
might say there is a abnormal peak of the turnover, right?
Uh-huh.
So unless and until they do this planning, right? Okay. So it's very important for any civil engineer to at least have a knowledge of planning. They should do it. They can do it even on Excel also, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
And once they do this planning, then they come to the revenue. And from the direct cost, they themselves can, with the help of their senior, they themselves can chart out the expenses.
Okay.
So
Okay.
from every month, they can see what profit or loss they are doing, right?
Right. Right.
Unless and until a project planning is being made at the start of the project and it is being monitored
Uh-huh.
month on month basis, taking that zero budget as your baseline.
Oh, right. Right.
Otherwise, you will not be able to understand where the project is going. And in an EPC project, I will always say that this zero budget has to be this zero budget has to be again recalculated every 6 months of the project.
Okay.
Whatever work has been done, it is done on the balance job, which is called CTC, cost to completion. Right? And in the EPC project, many of the times the quantities changes also. So those things has to be incorporated, and you have to see that project where the project timeline is going and the project profitability is going.
Okay, so they should think like a owner of the.
Exactly. And not only that, it's very important that everyone should have an engineer, a professional, engineering professional can only succeed if he understands the planning very well. In our day-to-day life also, we do planning, right? Okay. So rather than doing it here, they can also do it in their project itself.
Right.
Say if a person, I'm just giving you an example. If a person is in charge of a piling, so he has to do 1,000 piles in his site. He has given a 10 months time.
Okay.
He should break down the activities of the piling. And month on month basis, he will try to plot what will come after other. So they will understand then whether 10 months is sufficient or 12 months is required. If 12 months is required, what are the necessary accelerating efforts he has to put in order to complete the job in 10 months?
Right. Okay. Yeah, so that is
So
very.
these are the very important points,
Right.
And what I feel that today's engineers, they lack on that. They don't give a lot of importance on the planning.
Right.
So planning is very important for being a successful project professional, at least in civil engineering.
Perfect. In fact, we also, to our all students, we are always saying that planning and monitoring is most important part of any project, and they should learn about that techniques, tools, and techniques on completing that. Another point is that, especially in infrastructure projects, the uncertainty is very high, sort of a risk management, you can say project risk management. And this is the very important topic we always teach to, our candidates also. In our training also, we have special sessions on risk management. But since you have such a large experience, how you want to, how do you, how you would give your insight on the uncertainty management or project risk management? Can you
see the risk management? I think the risk management has to be plotted on every quarter for any project. And it has to be broadly, if you look at risk can be of many types.
Okay.
But what I see, one risk is operational risk. One is your legal risk. One is your contractual risk. One is your safety risk.
Okay.
One is your political risk. Right. One is your environmental risk.
Okay.
So these are the all 5-6 risks. Correct. Okay. Under the operational risk, there may be risk of design, there may be risk of scarcity of material, there may be risk of manpower availability, there may be risk of labor scarcity, right? So any project, they should identify after 3 months, they should start identifying the risk.
Okay.
And they should identify because of this risk, what are the activities are affected. Okay. And what is the amount of turnover they will lose for that for any particular month. Okay. And whether due to occurrence of this risk, project overall timeline is getting burst or not.
I see. Okay.
If the project timeline is getting burst, then you see the biggest cost risk is your fixed cost, right? Your manpower, machinery, everything is a fixed cost, right? Okay. Right. So that they have to calculate, right? Like how much cost they are incurring more for all these risks. Okay. Because of the overstay of the project. Say if there is a risk of land, so your project cannot be completed in 30 months. Your project has to be completed in 36 months. Okay. So then that the extra 6 months fixed cost, your official cost, their complete machinery cost, and all those things are there, which client is not going to compensate you in
Correct.
normal course of time. So where that cost will go?
Uh,
That cost will directly hit your profit.
correct. Right.
It will erode your profit. So
Right.
the
Exactly.
planning should be such that when you know that there is a risk of land, so you should mobilize appropriately. You should not over mobilize.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just giving you an example. So
Okay.
risk management is also a very important point,
Very,
and
very
any
good.
organization or any project professional, particularly those who want to be a project manager, that is head of any project, they should regularly practice that these are my risks in this quarter. How I
Hmm.
have, and there has to be a mitigation measure.
Hmm. Okay.
They should
Okay.
put down the mitigation measure and they review it constantly.
On regular basis. Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Risk monitoring is equally important,
yes,
and risk planning.
absolutely.
Both are very, very important. Another point is on the communication management, because as a stakeholder, I think one of the biggest challenges dealing with stakeholders, because when it's a public project, uh, you have to deal with so many people where you are actually doing the project, the neighbors of the project, the surrounding areas, and so many people are there. You are already interacting with them, and the communication plays the very most important area. Now,
Absolutely.
how the team should develop that practice of
See, the
communicating.
communication, I think the team should, first of all, those who are working on a site and in a project, they should think that they are playing a football, right?
Mhm.
They are not playing a cricket. I
Uh-huh.
personally feel football is a more communicative and team oriented thing, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Right, right, right,
Singular brilliance will not, uh, a singular brilliance cannot take a project to a greater height,
right.
right?
Uh-huh.
The attitude to learn, the attitude to help each other, right?
Mhm.
And inquisitiveness, that's very important.
Thanks, Mr. Shaibal Roy, for giving insight on this project management. Because of your vast experience, whatever you have mentioned about the project management, how one should handle the project, it is really, really helpful to you. Mr. Shaibal Roy was giving us idea about the communication, but unfortunately got another call and is extremely busy person, and he couldn't continue this interview for the time being. But I'm very sure I will conduct another interview, next part of the interview with him, because he has so much to speak, because he's handling so many mega size projects, and I'm sure we will be able to talk to him later. But it's very important to understand what he spoke today. He spoke more about how to read the contract, because in the infrastructure EPC size of projects, reading the contracts is extremely important. And he also mentioned about planning is the importance of planning. Any project professional should focus on planning, and of course the monitoring as per the planning, so that project is completed bang on time. Also, every project professional should think like a owner. They should also think about the importance of profitability. Project profitability is finally everything. So also think about it, how you can plan your cost, and how you can complete the activities, so that there is least delay, and there is a project which can be completed bang on time. Especially your thought on how to read the contracts, how to do the planning in the project, how to work like a owner. Like, you should treat yourself like any project professional should think about himself as a owner. You should ensure that there is a profitability, and plan your cost also in addition to your project activities, and ensure that project is completed bang on time as well as bang on budget. And I think, thank you, Mr. Roy, for your insight. Thank you so much. And I'm very sure we'll have another session with him to know more about his experience, because he is carrying such a large experience. So thanks once again. And we will meet in the next project management show with one more high project professional, very important project professional having good knowledge, good exposure. So I'm concluding this session, though I couldn't, Mr. Roy couldn't join at the end of the session. We'll conduct another session. Thank you so much. We will come back with another session on the project management show with another professionals, more professionals. Thank you so much.